When we talk about keyboards with magnetic switches, rapid trigger, SOCD, adjustable actuation, all the stuff and features that have become mainstays in gaming keyboards over the past few years, it's easy to imagine the price tag being in the hundreds. Oftentimes that is the case. Well, not today. This is the Magma M40 from Marvo. It's got all of the features that I just mentioned and it costs about 40 quid. Maybe you don't need to fork out hundreds of pounds of your hard-earned money to get the latest tech in a gaming keyboard. 40 quid, eh? Let's see if it's worth it. Hi guys, I'm Matt and welcome to Kit Guru. So before we dive into things then, if you do want to pick up one of these in the UK, you might be in for a little bit of a wait for shipping, as the only place that I can find them in stock is AliExpress. If it's decent though, then waiting a few weeks to pick one up for around 40 quid and save some money would be worth it in my opinion. Let's start with the design then. On the box, the M40 is described as having a 60% layout. Then the website describes it as 65% in places and 60% in other places, as well as saying that there are 67 keys, then in the very next sentence that there are 68 keys. It's a little bit all over the place. Looking at the board with our own eyes instead of relying on specs though, it's a 65% layout containing arrow and nav keys, but foregoing the numpad and function row when compared to a full-size keyboard. The case is made from ABS plastic top and bottom with a non-floating switch design, curved edges and a smooth finish. I like the design and I don't think it looks cheap by any means. The M40 sports a US ANSI layout. There's no UK ISO layout that I can see online. That's not the end of the world, but it would be nice to see a few different layouts available, but that would no doubt push the price up a little bit. The lock indicator lights, they've been sandwiched down in the bottom right-hand corner in between the function key and the arrow keys, which is a bit of an unusual place, but they do their job, I suppose. The case is black, sometimes looking very dark grey depending on the light. Then the keycaps are mostly grey, flanked by black and accented by a few yellowy orange keycaps and keycap legends. Overall, I think it's got a real nice balance to the colours. I know it's all personal preference, but I personally really like the colour scheme that Marvo went with on this keyboard. The M40 is a wired only board, so there's no toggle switches for connectivity or anything like that. Just a single USB-C port on the top, positioned off centre and towards the left-hand corner. In terms of branding, Marvo have kept it minimal, just sticking their name on the bottom edge in a very, very Marvel-esque font. The M40 has RGB backlighting. It wouldn't be a gaming keyboard in 2025 without it after all. It's got per key customization handled via a web interface. I'll run through that a bit later. There are a decent amount of preset lighting effects to choose from in there though. The switches are south facing, so the effects are more of a glow than a bright light show. But on the flip side to that, the lighting is nicely diffused when using the board and looking at it from a sort of normal angle. It's definitely not as good of an RGB implementation as I've seen in the past, but for 40 quid and a Hall effect keyboard, I can't moan too much. Flipping the board over to look at the bottom, there's not much to say. It's a pretty standard affair. It's got a plastic bottom, flip out feet. It's quite comfortable to type on, which I'll talk about more in a little bit. But yeah, you've got the feet. It stays in place nicely on a desk. There's not a lot more to mention about the bottom of it. Coming back to speak about the switches, in the specs, the M40 is listed as being fitted with Utemu, I think that's how you say that, Utemu, pink crystal magnetics. After a bit of digging, I'm pretty sure they don't exist. I might be wrong though. They look like Utemu pink magnetics rather than peach crystals to me. The information is just all over the place. Anyway, they have a linear action and they feel nice and smooth when you use them. They've got adjustable actuation points ranging from 0.1 to 3.3 millimeters. The website in the specs states 3.5 millimeters, but I can only get them to adjust to 3.3 millimeters. You can select which switches that you've got installed. The pink crystal switches listed in the specs are not an option though, but the peach crystals are. Again, the info is just all over the place with the M40. It's becoming a bit of a theme for the review now. The switches, they're decent though, and I've enjoyed gaming and typing on them. They're factory lubed to a pretty good standard, as are the plate mounted stabilisers, which for the price do a pretty decent job of minimising rattle. Take a listen for yourselves. So the sound profile then, while a little hollow, I think it's quite impressive for a board in this price range. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you're looking for a new chair, then definitely go and check out boolies.co.uk. They offer a whole host of gaming and office chairs that come in a variety of different finishes and different colours. In terms of build quality, the M40 feels pretty much what you'd expect a fully plastic cased 65% board to feel like. It doesn't flex too much due to its size, but it does have a sort of hollow feel to it. Finishing on the case and keycaps is pretty good for a budget keyboard though. Everything feels about as good quality as you'd expect from the materials that it's been made out of, if that makes sense. As for actually using the board then, in both gaming and for general day-to-day typing, overall, I've been really impressed. In gaming especially, it's got pretty much every feature you'll find on gaming keyboards that are much more expensive. It's got up to 8K polling, it's got rapid trigger, SOCD, adjustable actuation as I've mentioned, which enables multiple actions to be bound to a single key, and you can even set it up so pressing a button does one thing and then holding that same button does something else, which is a kind of unique feature that I've not seen too many boards offer before. So it all depends how you want to set it up. It's really customizable. The minimum actuation distance of 0.1mm is way too sensitive for me personally. I've been running it around 0.4, which is much easier to control in games. And Marvel Rivals, I've been playing that a lot lately. It seemed like the perfect test for a keyboard like this, and it's worked pretty flawlessly during my testing. I haven't really had any issues with it. More general day-to-day use has been good too. Typing is an enjoyable enough experience. It's not to the level of a solid-bodied, more stable keyboard like the Keychron Q1 Max that I use daily, but for the price, I'd be happy using the M40 for some work tasks if it was my daily driver. The only thing I'd want to change would be the layout, but again, that's a personal preference thing. As I mentioned earlier, customizing the M40 is done with a web interface. There's no software to install, a route that we're seeing more and more keyboard manufacturers take recently. The layout of the website is pretty straightforward, with tabs for key remapping, lighting, macro management, performance settings, advanced key settings like SOCD and rapid trigger, and then finally a general settings screen where you'll find the polling rate adjustments. The layout of the web page is okay, but the design leaves a lot to be desired. It looks like a website straight out of 1998, and it sometimes takes a few seconds to load. Marvo, you need to spruce this web page up a bit. That being said though, it does do the job, and once you've spent a few minutes clicking around, everything makes a bit more sense. To wrap things up then, overall, I'm pleased with the M40. It's rough around the edges, metaphorically speaking, but it brings a whole lot to the table for the price that Marvo were asking for it. Again, around 40 quid from AliExpress here in the UK. Feature-wise, it gives keyboards that are 5 times the price a run for their money, some of the latest from Corsair or Razer, for example. But it's the polish and the overall experience of customizing it that will let it down compared to those sorts of keyboards. The web URL works, but looks dated and can be a bit slow sometimes. And the information online surrounding this keyboard is patchy at best and just downright confusing at worst. But, and it's a big but, the Marvo M40 is an absolutely great way to get your hands on the latest gaming keyboard features such as SOCD at a really reasonable price. I'd be happy using this as my daily keyboard for gaming if I wasn't in the position to have the choice of a lot of keyboards. This thing's solid for the money. Anyway guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me a like down below if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to Kit Guru to keep up with the latest PC gaming news and reviews. If you go down below the video, you'll find links to our merch store where you can pick up hoodies and t-shirts and stuff like that and rep Kit Guru while you're out touching some grass. And then in the video's description, you'll find links to our Discord server, our Patreon page and our website if you want to support us any further and check any of that out. Anyway, I've been Matt. This has been the M40 Hall Effect Magnetic Gaming Keyboard from Marvo. I'll speak to you in the next one. Look after yourselves. See you later.